up front. I'm not here to cry poor for LSU baseball last year in the portal. I am here to tell you there were some players that LSU felt really good about getting that did not come to LSU, and the thought was that money was a big issue. It was an issue with Tennessee. It was an issue with Texas. It was an issue with Mississippi State. LSU, there were some guys they thought they had. They didn't get them. So, yeah, I think that some changes have been made. Virgil Osbury sat in this studio and said that Jay Johnson was going to have more revenue-sharing funds available. They still have NIL. They still have a strong backbone of cash from LSU. I think they're in a better position. I think they're looking for different players in the portal this year. And I will tell you this. Based on the early entrance to the portal, I think the talent in the transfer portal is greater this year than it was last year. I think there's more depth at the top. So I think LSU is going to end up with some really good players out of the portal. But I can't – a lot of those conversations last year I'm not privy to as to what the dollars and cents looked like in Austin with Aiden Robbins as opposed to in Baton Rouge with Aiden Robbins. With Landon Mack in Knoxville as opposed to Landon Mack in Baton Rouge. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think LSU will do a good job in the portal this year.
All right, so what if you could fast forward to August 25th?
Probably can't do it.
Can't do it? This is some holidays.
I'm really looking forward to Family Beach trip coming up. Yep. I'm looking forward to SEC Media Days. That's fun.
That's end of July?
It's in the middle towards the end of July.
Okay.
I'm looking forward. Like, obviously, got kids. You want to spend as much time with them as possible. Professionally, let's go. Like, professionally,
you're already in
let's
football
get on
mode?
with it. No, I'm in get rid of summer mode.
Okay.
Like, I think a lot of LSU fans are in this boat, too. Like, I talked about LSU Clemson in the last segment. Like, I am excited about that. I think there are a lot of LSU fans that want to see what Jay Johnson does the next 3 weeks. And I'll watch the College World Series. I'm excited about that, and I'll talk about it a little bit, but that's not professionally. Yeah, I look very much forward to the end of August.
Okay.
Now the beginning of August 1st through August 10th is fun because it's 1,000 degrees,
yeah.
But we're out there. I get to see these guys in person, watch them do some things, and there's an adrenaline boost that goes with the first week of August. Everyone settles into school at that point, and like there's an adrenaline boost to that professionally. Professionally, I would go right now. Personally, we gotta take some summer vacation time.
Yeah.
Hit the lake on 4th of July.
4th of July,
kind of
thank
stuff.
you.
But professionally, yeah, I'm ready to roll.
I'm about to say I've been in football mode since Lord, who knows how long.
Not me. I can't go that far.
Oh, look, the way how Tyler Shuck ended the season, Hunt, I've been itching. I've been scratching, man.
He lost it into the season. Lost to the Falcons. Swept.
He did. And we're eating good off that. He did, but we can't say he did perform in that game. He did look good. Everybody else around him,
Not so
Ronnie
much.
Bell, Toure, Kevin Austin, sayonara. Don't want to see you ever again. So what if you could go to one super regional?
I tried to be creative, and I do think there's a lot of charm in Chapel Hill in North Carolina USC. I would enjoy that, going to see that stadium. I've never been to Chapel Hill. I would like to see that for sure. But it's Georgia, Mississippi State. I have been to Athens 4 times, maybe 5. I love Athens, Georgia. It is the best town in the SEC, bar none.
Whoa.
I love a college town. It is the best one in the league.
Really?
Bars, restaurants, the whole thing is just great. Downtown area is phenomenal.
Okay.
Love it. And that ballpark's nothing. It's not great. Okay. But that matchup's going to be unbelievable. And being in Athens, I would go there. You send me to Texas, Oregon, I'm thrilled. You send me to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, I'm thrilled. I'm not a big enough college baseball junkie where I want you to send me to Troy, Alabama to watch Troy and Little Rock play. I love college baseball. I love it, love it, love it. I don't need to go to that.
Okay.
And look, Kansas is going to have a hell of an environment for Kansas, Oklahoma, no doubt. But the dudes on the mound, the dudes at the plate, the small dimensions of the ballpark, the charm of Athens, give me Georgia, Mississippi State all day.
All right, so that's it for What If Wednesday.
That's it for What If Wednesday. Chugging along here, unless we got anybody in the Bayou Ford chat, had a little bit of a technical issue, but sounds like we're back up and running there. But that's it there for What If Wednesday. Appreciate y'all for participating. Had a few of those that chimed in via Twitter, so appreciate that as always every single week. We're brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com. Builtbyrenaissance.com. You can send my guy Joey Blanchard a text message. That's all it takes to get the process started at 225-252-7745. Still plenty to do here on this Wednesday edition. We got a busy second hour coming at you. Drake London's contract is a big point of contention. Well, big topic of conversation, I should say, in Saints world. Nick Saban was on Capitol Hill today and testified. He gave an 11-minute opening statement that we're going to talk about. And I am back and forth on it, which is not surprising. That's kind of the way my personality rolls, but I'm back and forth on it. So we'll talk a little bit about Nick Saban's testifying. And then the baseball transfer portal is up and running. LSU had a visitor yesterday. I wrote about it at LouisianaSports.net, which, by the way, just to go off on a little aside here, we launched a new website, LouisianaSports.net. Same content exactly, but new look there, so you can go check that out. It's brand new today. In fact, not quite 100% updated. We got some stories that'll be populated over the course of the day. So if you look at it and go, I think I've seen that story before, it's all uploading. It's just a 4-hour deal that was unavoidable for us on that front that is going to be reconciled by dinner today. But if you want to go check out LouisianaSports.net, looks brand new as of today, and we're really proud of it and the content that we've put out and the way that site has grown. And certainly appreciate y'all for making that happen for us. But I wrote about the baseball transfer portal this morning. That'll be republished this afternoon as we have some information as some real targets for LSU, and we'll get into that at the bottom of hour number 2 in about 45 minutes. When we come back, LSU basketball. Got a little scheduling news. We'll discuss that and what it means for Will Wade's first team when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Always appreciate our friends over at Auctioneer. You know, all May long they were telling you about Stroke Awareness Month. And in June, they're talking about their walk-in clinic at Elite. So whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, the Auctioneer Andrews Orthopedics Sports Medicine Institute can help you get moving and keep you moving. You got access to the highest level of specialized care, nationally renowned expertise, the latest equipment, modern facilities, including that walk-in clinic at Elite Training Complex on Burbank. If you need care fast, they can certainly help you. If you got a sprain, strain, minor dislocation, sports injuries, maybe just a sudden or ongoing spine-related musculoskeletal pain, they can help you over at Elite Training Complex. A walk-in visit is always welcome. You can learn more at auctioneer.org/brortho. That's auctioneer.org/brortho. All from our friends over at Auctioneer.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Closing up hour number 1, Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Always brought to you by First American Bank and Trust. FABT.com is the website. Started up in 1910. 116 years later, they are still humming. 25 locations throughout southeast Louisiana. So there's always one near you down in Metairie, right here just outside of Baton Rouge, Dutchtown, Jones Creek, maybe up I-12, Tangipahoa, and St. Tammany Terraces. They got branches. So do they down the bayou, St. James, St. John's, Lafourche. Wherever you are, again, in southeast Louisiana, there's a First American Bank and Trust branch next to you. They just believe in being that community bank. And that comes with all the positives of knowing people when you walk in the door, of having folks make decisions based on your business, your personal loan, right here in southeast Louisiana. That's First American Bank and Trust. But when I say commercial bank that's right here and local, I don't mean small. It's 25 locations throughout southeast Louisiana. They've got the resources to help you. You just know that the people making decisions on your loans are local. It means a lot. So if you're looking for a commercial loan, looking for a personal loan, looking for that personal touch you don't get from the national banks, First American Bank and Trust can help you without that. They're online at FABT.com. All right, John Rothstein with a tweet earlier today about 10 o'clock this morning said that LSU is going to play in the 2026 Acrisure Series in Palm Springs. This is a little different than your traditional local tournament, the one that LSU's played in Destin or that they played in Cancun, the Maui Invitational, Myrtle Beach. You know, all these tournaments that are played annually. This one is in Palm Springs, but it includes 28 teams. It's got pod systems, and so we don't have the schedule that LSU is going to play, but the teams that are in LSU's top 2 pods, where the high major teams are, you've got Southern Cal, you've got South Carolina, so both USCs, you've got Arizona State, Utah State, Grand Canyon, St. Louis, Stanford, and Colorado. The 2 that stand out to me are Southern Cal. They've got a solid program right now and have done a great job recruiting front court players the last couple of years. And then St. Louis has got a really good program as well. Josh Schertz is the head coach at St. Louis. He had a great run at Indiana State and was hired by St. Louis in 2024 and really did a great job the last couple of seasons. And a lot of teams were pursuing him in the coaching markets, and St. Louis signed him to a big extension, gave him a big paycheck, committed some money to it. Like, St. Louis loves their basketball, and Josh Schertz has built a really strong brand there in short time. So I'm hopeful that LSU runs into St. Louis, runs into Southern Cal in this tournament. We'll see what happens. I doubt they'll be put next to South Carolina. They try to avoid those things if at all possible with conference teams playing. I don't know a lot about Stanford or Colorado. I don't know a ton about Arizona State either. Grand Canyon, Utah State are generally pretty solid mid-major programs. So it's not the sexiest matchup that LSU could have pulled, but LSU's not in a position to do that right now. But I'll tell you this. From my time doing Hoops with Hunt, the podcast that I was doing during the Will Wade era, and understanding and listening to him do press conferences and covering him, everything he does from a scheduling perspective is done with purpose. It's done meticulously. And I know what Will Wade's going to do with his schedule. He's going to, one, schedule a lot of teams early in the season from lower level conferences that he expects to win a lot of games. Now, that was an easier thing to do when he got to LSU, and you could more accurately forecast the production teams had coming back. Now, really good mid-major teams are going to lose players to the portal. Their coaches are going to leave, and the players are going to follow, and then the roster gets gutted, and they're not as good as they were before. But Will Wade's got a group of analysts off as a third party that he brings on as a consultant to put his schedule together. You're going to get low major teams that win a lot of games. That's always a staple of what Will Wade does. He's also going to play a game every year in a big arena. LSU's going to go play Houston next year in Toyota Center over in Houston. That, he believes, prepares his teams for the NCAA tournament, playing in big arenas, NBA arenas. He likes to do that to get the feel for the NCAA tournament where you play in bigger venues. And then you're going to play in a tournament every single year, and more often than not, he's going to pick one that he feels like is going to be a resume boost. So maybe he greases the skids with the folks at the Acrisure series to make sure in that first round he gets St. Louis, because St. Louis is going to win a lot of games. Maybe he makes sure he's on the side that gets the USC Stanford winner or loser or whatever the case may be. But it's all going to be done meticulously. So I don't know what this bracket's going to look like in time, but I do think that there is reason to think this is a reasonable step. Will Wade is not at the point in this tenure at LSU where he can pick up the phone and get big games. Now, clearly, he and Kelvin Sampson have a good relationship. They played previously when Will Wade was here in Houston. So here. So you're going to see that game, and that's a huge game for LSU. Houston, I believe, has won more games than anyone in the Power 5 basketball leagues the last 4 years. They've been a 1 seed 3 the last 4 years, a 2 seed in the other. They're a juggernaut as far as regular season basketball goes, and so that's a huge game for LSU for sure. But not in the deal where they're going to be the first phone call for a lot of these big tournaments. So they get this Palm Springs deal. There's a couple of really solid programs in there, and hopefully LSU can build its resume in that way. They got work to do from a roster perspective before we as fans worry too much about the schedule. But you look at what we know about this schedule, it does include Houston in Houston, as well as this Palm Springs trip out to a great part of the country at that time of year, which will probably be late November or early December. So if you want to go see the basketball team play in a gorgeous locale in a chilly time, go see them in Palm Springs in the 2026 Acrisure Series over there on the West Coast. South Carolina, Southern Cal, Arizona State, Utah State, Grand Canyon, St. Louis, Stanford, and Colorado will round out the top 2 pods that LSU will be included in come November or December of this year. All right, that's it for hour number 1 here on a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Started things today talking about Alvin Kamara reporting to Saints OTAs. He is currently meeting with the media, said he was in Miami yesterday, decided last minute to get on a 10 p.m. flight and fly to New Orleans. I've actually taken Miami to New Orleans flight. It's real quick, nothing to it, right up over the Gulf, and you're there in an hour and 45 minutes. So he decided to do that, and he's here. And I thought that was weird, and I gave my thoughts on it. And I think that there's a sense that he's putting a little pressure on the organization that is not willing to bow down to that. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Also talked a little Clemson football. The 2026 ACC football preview on ESPN.com does not paint Clemson in a super positive light. What does that mean for LSU? I spoke about that. It was What If Wednesday. If you missed any of the first hour, catch it on demand. Hunt Palmer Show. Hunt on LSU for your Clemson talk there. Hunt on Saints for the Kamara talk. Those are our 2 YouTube channels. Appreciate y'all for subscribing to those. It means a ton to us. In hour number 2, Nick Saban was on Capitol Hill. What do you have to say? Do I agree? We'll talk about it. Baseball transfer portal in 35 minutes. We'll pause for Sports Center national headlines. When we come back, Drake London signed a big deal. What does that mean for Chris Olave? I've got my thoughts on it coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Boudreaux's Electrical Services, they call it foresight. It's not over planning, it's foresight. That hurricane is going to come. Hopefully not this year, hopefully not next year. I'd love it if it never showed up, but we know in this part of the world there are risks there. Give yourself the peace of mind with that Generac home standby generator that you don't have to stress when a storm could be forming in the Keys, when it could be forming in the Gulf. You know that if you ride out the storm, you're going to have power. You know that if you do evacuate, you'll come back to a house with power. A local team from Boudreaux's Electrical will install that Generac home standby generator. They will locally monitor that generator. If there's a mechanical issue, a local team will come with the fix. That's the beauty of doing business with local people. You can buy from the big box store, but probably go with local for that customer service. Boudreaux's Electrical offers that. Boudreaux'Electrical.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Lockmeyer, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
Another roof gone too soon.
Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation.
At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today.
Case closed.
Supreme Jasmine.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Knicks and Spurs set to open up the NBA Finals tonight in San Antonio, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. With Jalen Brunson leading the way, the Knicks have won 11 straight games by a total of 262 points, the most lopsided 11-game run in league history. So how does San Antonio defend Brunson? ESPN NBA analyst Danny Green.
I imagine it'll be Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle's done an amazing job this postseason. Guarding SGA, who's a two-time MVP, slowed him down. Other guys showed in gaps, Champagny, Vassell. It was a group effort, but Stephon Castle did a great job of moving his feet, being physical, also with playing without fouling, which is going to be a key in this series.
New York center Mitchell Robinson will be available, reports ESPN's Shams Charania. He had surgery on his right hand last week. Officially, Robinson listed as questionable. Former Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz explaining his decision to resign back in February. He told the Ryan Rippon Show he was fine with Cleveland hiring Todd Monken as head coach, but he deserved his own DC, and a forced marriage isn't going to work in the NFL. This marked the second time that Schwartz was passed over for the Browns head coaching job.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, as the Knicks and Spurs battle in the NBA Finals, I'll tell you which team should use their blueprint if they want to have success in the future. It's on Sportsman, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
This is a catastrophe.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Hour number 2, Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools, officially working towards the weekend. Got half that work week in the rearview mirror. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Baseball transfer portal is up and running. We'll talk about it in 30 minutes. But right now, we'll go back to our Saints discussion, and it kind of is an NFC South discussion, quite honestly, because the breaking news out of the National Football League today is the contract extension, and a big one, for Drake London of the Atlanta Falcons. London gets a 4-year extension worth $141 million. $100 million of that is guaranteed. Could get up to $150 million in incentives. Talking about the third highest paid wide receiver in the National Football League, the Falcons make that official. And that impacts the Saints very clearly in two ways. One, Drake London plays for the Saints' chief rival. Drake London plays for a team the Saints see twice a year, every year. Drake London plays for a team the Saints are jockeying with for position in the NFC South. So clearly, the Falcons locking him up impacts the Saints in that way. It also impacts the discussions for Chris Olave, because Chris Olave and Drake London are essentially stunt doubles for one another. You look at their draft selection, you look at their career, you look at almost their age, like they are almost identical. Let me give you some statistics. Both players were taken in the first round of the 2022 NFL draft. Drake London went 8th, Chris Olave went 11th. They were 3 picks apart. As rookies, Chris Olave made 72 catches and had 4 touchdowns. Drake London made 72 catches and had 4 touchdowns. They had the exact same number of catches and touchdowns as rookies. Chris Olave has had 3 1,000-yard seasons and 1 was marred by injury where he only played 8 games. Drake London has gone for 866, 905, 1271, and 919. Those essentially average out to about 1,000 yards per season. Over the course of 4 seasons, and keep in mind that London has played in 7 more games. Olave's got 291 catches, London 309. They're separated by 18 catches. That's pretty much the 7 games you're missing. Right? 18 catches over 7 games, that's pretty much the same deal. They are separated by 233 yards. 233 yards separates them over 4 years. And 3 touchdowns separates them. London's got a few more catches, a few more yards, a few more touchdowns, and a few more games played. They have been basically the exact same guy. Now, if you look at birthdays, Olave is June 27th. He just had his birthday. Sorry, he will have his birthday at the end of this month, June 27th of 2000, and London is July 24th of 01. So Olave is 11 months older. That's not a big deal at this point in their careers. So when you look at 2 first-round picks from the same draft who have been exactly the same in terms of production, who are at the same point in their contracts, it stands to reason you're not going to stray too far from this contract when it comes pen to paper for Chris Olave. Now, as I looked over the top paid receivers in the NFL, I didn't think that Chris Olave belonged in that group. He's just not in the conversation to me with Justin Jefferson, with Jamar Chase, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, he, to me, isn't at those guys' level. You look at average salary, Jackson Smith and Jigba is at $42 million. Jamar Chase is at $40 million. Justin Jefferson is at $35 million. CeeDee Lamb, $34. DK Metcalf, $33. Garrett Wilson, $32.5. Amon-Ra St. Brown, $30. Like, I don't put Chris Olave right in those guys' category. But he's going to get paid like it. He's going to be a top 5 paid wide receiver in the National Football League. And I don't think that he's in that category. Now, I understand that these get bypassed every single year by the next crop of wide receivers. And when you fast forward to the third year of this deal, he'll be down at 10th or 11th. It's just the nature of setting the market. Salary cap goes up, salaries go up. Guys that signed 3 years ago are going to get passed. So it's not to suggest that exactly Jamar Chase and Chris Olave deserve the same amount of cash because they're the same player. No, it's just the timing of the deal. But I do think Chris Olave is a key piece to this offense. And I think what you saw late in the season last year between Olave and Shuck is reason to believe that he can be a 1,000-yard receiver for the next 3 seasons. I don't think that should be a problem. You're talking about a guy who is going to be going into his age 25 season. 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, that's your prime. That's not over the hill. And as we've talked about time and time and time again, the Saints do have money to spend. And you need to use that money on key pieces around Tyler Shuck while he's on a cheap deal. The time will come where you've got to pay Shuck. And at that time, Chris Olave will be nearing the end of his deal. And at that time, Chris Olave will not be one of the 5 highest paid receivers in the NFL. But if Drake London, and I'm looking at this on Spotrac, is now the 3rd highest paid receiver in the NFL, just nipping Justin Jefferson in terms of the value of his contract. Justin Jefferson signed for $140 million. Drake London signed for $141 million. Like, Chris Olave is going to be right there because it would be very difficult. The only leg the Saints could stand on to suggest that Chris Olave deserves less money than Drake London is that he got hurt twice. Drake London plays a lot of football. Chris Olave has gotten hurt twice. But when he's on the field, Chris Olave, without elite quarterback play, trust me, not that London has had it, but Olave hadn't had it either, has been better. Their rookie years, Olave had 1,042 yards, London 866. Olave wins. Second year, Olave 1,123, London 905. Olave wins. Last year, 1,163, London 919. The only time London surpassed Olave was when Olave played 8 games. So the Saints can try to say, well, you got hurt in 2024 and played 8 games, and you got hurt last year. But I don't know that that's going to stand up. I think that the Saints are going to have to pay up for Chris Olave. And with this Drake London deal, it's evident that he's going to get north of $35 million a year to be the Saints' number 1 wide receiver for right now. Now, keep in mind, there's another piece to this puzzle. That's the Olave piece. There's a Jordan Tyson piece to this puzzle. And here's how I look at it. Jordan Tyson will be added into this group, and you hope he is your number 1 receiver. He's a Pro Bowler. Maybe he's your number 2. But what you want to do at that point is go, okay, we are paying Olave a huge amount of money. Call it $36 million a year. We'll hypothetically say $36 million a year. But you're getting Tyson on a huge discount. Let's add that together. And that annual value is nowhere near what Cincinnati's paying for T. Higgins at $28.75 and Jamar Chase at $40. They're paying $68 million for their top 2 wide receivers. The Saints are closer to $40. Okay, that starts to make a little more sense. It's not always just about one guy. It is if he gets hurt. If he gets hurt, it's about one guy. But if you're talking about just spreading the money out against the position, Devon Vele's cheap. Jordan Tyson's cheap. Jalen Polk is cheap. So it sounds bad when I'd group Chris Olave in with Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? That doesn't sound right to you as a Saints fan. But if you just look at it as, okay, we're going to spend X amount on wide receivers. Yeah, Olave commands a huge portion of it. And if he gets hurt, that's a bad deal. But if I look at it as I'm spreading it out over the course of the whole wide receiver core, then it starts to make a little bit more sense. And you can build your defense and you can pay your quarterback very little and you can go get extra running backs and fortify your offensive line and do the things that you've got to do to be a really good team. But today's writing is on the wall. The happiest dude when the ink dried on Drake London's contract was in Metairie. I don't know where Chris Olave is. Maybe he's in Metairie. Maybe he's not. I'm not there. But it's Chris Olave because he's about to make $36 million a year. And you can pretty much take that to the bank, quite literally. How do you feel about that, Jordan? Olave, $36 million a year is what it sounds like it's going to come to. Got to think just north of Drake London.
I think that the Saints are the problem in this situation. They should have got this done. They let the Falcons get a one-up on them. Because the Falcons, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They knew that if they do it earlier than the Saints are going to have to break the bank a little bit more for Olave because obviously he's going to want to reset the market and get paid. Well, he's not resetting the market, but get paid more than London. So I think the Falcons, this was a win in their book. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's a win in their book for going ahead and getting this done. I think you do need to go ahead and get this done so there's no distractions going into the season, especially the Saints, knowing that their first two games are like the Ravens and the Lions. You kind of want to get the ball rolling. You kind of don't want receiver one.
They'll get it done.
Yeah,
it'll be done before. I bet it gets done before the first preseason game.
I hope. Go ahead and get it done. It's already over with. The Falcons then beat you to it.
Yeah, and this is the end of the negotiation. Yeah. This is a market league. There's the market. I just read you the stats. They're the same player. They're the same age. They're the same draft class. They're the same production. It's the same. That you can't. It would be ridiculous for Olave to ask for 44. It would be ridiculous for the Saints to counter at 28. It's just this is what it is. It's 35-36.
That's it.
Sign it. That's it. That's the end of the discussion. So that's what's going to end up happening there in New Orleans. All right, we're chugging along. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're built by Renaissance.com. That's built by Renaissance.com. Nick Saban was on Capitol Hill today. He spoke for 11 straight minutes on the state of collegiate athletics. I'll give you my opinion on it coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com is the website. SwingEasyGCBR.com is that website. It's golf season, but it's hot. If you don't want to just go nuts sweating out there, dealing with the afternoon showers, dealing with the elements, well, work on your game at Swing Easy Golf Club. It's a great place to practice. You get a controlled environment on the mat. It's got great technology. You can see once you strike the golf ball what that club head speed is, what your carry distance is. You see the trajectory of the shot on the simulator. You can see your spin numbers as well. You get a great slow motion replay of your club face at impact, see where the ball is struck. Whether you're a scratch player or you're a beginner, it's all very, very helpful to look at. And you can do it in a private bay right there at Swing Easy Golf Club, especially if you're a member. Get membership options. You can be an individual member. Your corporate business can get a membership as well. So go by and work on your game at Swing Easy Golf Club. You can do it before work. You can do it at lunch, not get wringing wet with sweat. You can do it after work as well. It's Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. They're on Seagan at Perkins. You can find them online at swingeasygcbr.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
One Bath and Closets, onebathandclosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. You know, safety can be a big, big issue in bathrooms, especially as folks age. If there's an aging person in your life and you hadn't had this thought pop in your mind, maybe as I say it, you go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Bathroom can be dangerous. You can't eliminate that risk. But what you can do is try to mitigate against that risk. You can put in non-slip floors. You can do walk-in tubs that are safer, more convenient. You can do showers with benches in them, guardrails around slippery areas. These could be difference makers in the bathroom as folks age. So if there's someone in your life that you think might have a need for that, talk to David. Go to onebathandclosets.com, request that free consultation, and talk to him about what you are looking for. He's happy to help. They do that kind of stuff all the time. It's One Bath and Closets. Find them online, onebathandclosets.com. Okay, Nick Saban was on Capitol Hill today, and he was testifying in favor of the Protect College Sports bill that Ted Cruz and his Democratic counterpart have presented on Capitol Hill to try to put some regulations in place in collegiate athletics. And I'll paraphrase Nick Saban's 11-minute opening statement. He said, look, you got situations here where you've got folks transferring for money, and they're going from business degrees to general studies just because that school doesn't have a business school. So now they've compromised their education, and then maybe they don't graduate because they've gone to 3 schools at one in 4 years, and then they try to make it in the NFL, and they haven't graduated. And you've got a situation where players aren't being asked to develop, they're just jumping school to school. And you've got a culture that is entirely driven on pay for play as opposed to legitimate name, image, and likeness marketing opportunities. And you've got conferences that are broken, and you've got all the athletic programs outside of football and men's basketball that are taking on water and that are losing money and that are getting cut, and all this is very, very, very bad. And look, I agree with a lot of the things that Nick Saban said on Capitol Hill today. I also don't believe you're going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube here. And some of that, I believe, is detrimental to collegiate athletics. Some of it is to be determined. But what I've learned in following this as I have, and it's not my favorite thing to do, but of course it is part of the job, so I take it very seriously. Money is going to rule the day. Unconstitutionally, collegiate athletics was on pretty good footing for a long time. Now, you may suggest that the collegiate student athletes were being taken advantage of and that they were being exploited and that everybody else is getting rich, and that's not good. And I can't disagree with that. Like, the student athletes were the ones out there playing. They were the ones out there getting hurt. They were the ones out there practicing and studying and laying it on the line, and there were billions of dollars being exchanged between a lot of really rich people. And they weren't getting a lot of it. Some were getting under the table, but they weren't getting a lot of it. But the conferences were stable. The programs were stable in terms of the tennis programs and the golf programs and the women's basketball programs and the gymnastics programs. That was all stable. The conferences were pretty stable. And then the almighty dollar finally broke free thanks to the Supreme Court, which said, hey, this whole thing you're doing here, you can't do that. And we haven't caught up since. We haven't caught up. The dollar has just outpaced everybody. And it's blown up conferences. It has blown up programs. It's gotten schools in programs cut. It's created a culture of massive transfers where academics have been shoved to the side. And it's not any less compelling when they play on the field. I told you that when I sat here after I went to the Sugar Bowl. It's hard for me to pry myself away from LSU. I want the Tigers to win. I'm covering the game. I'm locked in all that. I can't really enjoy what is college athletics when LSU is locked in a competition. That's all I care about. But as I did watching the regionals this past weekend, and I will this weekend with the super regionals, when they get on the field, it's damn good. And I believe we will get this on the rails. It's not right now. The mass transfers, the quarterbacks suing their own school, the empty rosters, the pay for play, the boosters writing checks, this clearinghouse trying to make things happen, the tampering, all this stuff is out of control. Not compromising the product on the field. It's not. It is not. The only thing that it's doing, if you're one of the rich people cutting the checks, it's draining bank accounts. And if you feel a way about it when you look at it on the internet and see things that are happening, you can get a little queasy about it. But I just don't know. I personally don't know a single person. I'm not suggesting they don't exist. I don't know a single person who is not going to go to the LSU Clemson game or is not going to watch LSU Clemson or who did not go to Omaha last year because of NIL and the transfer portal. I don't know one. So I agree with Nick Saban that some of this stuff is out of control, that some of this is not in the spirit of what we were trying to do, that some of these side effects are bad. I think it's bad that Arkansas looked at its budget, knew it had to pay its basketball players and baseball players an astronomical amount of money, and had to pay its fired coach a ton of money, and had to build facilities, and had to pay its baseball team a lot of money, and had to travel the baseball team, and had to put recruiting budgets together to try to keep up with LSU and Alabama and Texas and Georgia and Oklahoma. And they looked at their men's and women's tennis programs and went, we're cutting you. Now, they saved it. The boosters saved it. But that's not good. I don't think it's good that Stanford's in the ACC. I think there are some things that you look at here and go, I don't think it's good that Oregon State just got left without a home. I don't think that's good because everybody's chasing money. I don't think that's good. But to suggest that we're going to put guardrails on this and you're going to stop the pay for play, to me, is not going to work constitutionally. Like, I just don't see it. Unless you can put a salary cap together like Major League, like I always say Major League Baseball because it's the first pro league I think of. They don't have a salary cap. A salary cap together like the NFL and the NBA, it's going to be pay for play. And this is Nick Saban's like biggest bugaboo with it. You don't want pay for play. You don't want pay for, it is going to be pay for play unless there is a salary cap put in place that restricts spending. And oh, by the way, the Clippers circumvented that with a fake tree company. So, like, you're not going to fix all this stuff. The transfer portal, I think, can be cleaned up. I think it can be cleaned up. I don't think it's unconstitutional to make players sit out if they transfer. There are non-competes in other businesses. There are contracts in other leagues. This is not something that is completely unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional to tell people they can't get paid for their name. They can't get paid for their picture. That's why that's never going to be changed. The transfer portal is salvageable. So when I look at these issues that people have with collegiate athletics, I look at stuff that actually can be fixed. I think the transfer is the first thing that can be slowed down. And yes, I do think it's a little ridiculous that everybody can transfer all the time. I didn't use the word wrong. I used the word ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous to ask a football coach to go get 70 new players. I think it's ridiculous to ask a basketball coach to overhaul his entire roster every year. I didn't say wrong. I did not say impossible. I said ridiculous. And so Nick Saban's essentially today, his testimony was to try to bring it back to what it once was with name, image, and likeness for advertisements. That's a pipe dream. That's not going to happen. That's impossible. I think they're in good faith putting this bill together. I really do. I think that Ted Cruz, Cantwell on the left, I think they had reasonably good intentions. And I don't say that about a lot of politicians a lot of times. But I also don't believe they're going to be able to undo these wholesale changes, especially when it comes to the dollars and cents. And the portal is not really the dollars and cents. You can suggest you're not letting me transfer and create an open market for myself, but I look at the other leagues and they do that. You sign contracts or you just suffer punishments. You can go to Ohio State for $6 million, but if it's your second transfer, you got to sit. And if they're willing to pay you $6 million to sit, fine. That's not unconstitutional. But you're not going to be able to stop the flow of money, in my estimation. It's a complicated issue. And I will sit here when I go through an LSU baseball weekend or when I go through LSU baseball's metrics for hosting or when I look at LSU's run game statistics, and I will speak with a confidence in what I'm telling you. In this situation, it's not as much confidence as it is an observation and an opinion based on what may happen in the future. I don't speak with a ton of confidence. I do speak with conviction when I say I just don't think what Nick Saban would like to happen is reasonable. You've got to adjust where we are now, not attempt to revert back to what we once were. The first part of that's the easiest is the transfer situation. The money, the NIL, the collectives, all that with the rev share, that's going to be something that's going to have to evolve over time. And my sincere hope is that, as Kirby Smart said, it doesn't destroy everybody else. Because a system that is paying football and basketball players on the men's side so much that every other sport on campus dissolves is not a positive. It's not just or right. It's counterproductive. We'll see what happens. If you want to listen to Nick Saban's testimony, I suggest you go do it. It's just 11 minutes on that opening statement. But it's a bunch of folks that are attempting to put toothpaste back in a tube that got stepped on 5 or 6 years ago, and that toothpaste ain't going back in. Our Wednesday shows are brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com. Take a time out. We will come back. Baseball transfer portal. One LSU potential target is committed elsewhere. Plus, LSU had a visitor yesterday, and we have some names that they're looking at. We'll talk about all that next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Love telling you about my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com. Great deals in the month of June. If you're looking for a truck, they got them. 2026 Chevy Silverado, 0% APR financing now for 36 months if you get there in June. 36 months plus 2026 GMC Sierra 1500. They're at 2.9 APR financing for 72 months now until the end of June. Look, Chevy Trailblazer, Chevy Trax, as low as $30,000 if you're looking for one of those. The entire inventory is online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com. Go by and see them, Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Great customer service, great service after the sale, wonderful inventory and amazing deals. It's Fabry Chevrolet, online at FabryChevrolet.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishGroup.com.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
River Parish.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
It's a big day for us here at Guarantee Media. We redesigned LouisianaSports.net. So appreciate y'all for making LouisianaSports.net part of your daily routine. The site has just grown unbelievably since we launched it just about 2 years ago. And we're proud of the work we've done, and certainly proud of the redesign. Rivers Huey and her team have just done an amazing, amazing job to put that site together. It's the third iteration of the site, and we feel the best about this one by a long shot. So if you have made us part of your day, we certainly appreciate that. If you have not checked it out, go look at it today. LouisianaSports.net, brand new design. It's the same content. Still got LSU, still got Saints, still got SEC content, still got your videos there, columns, news stories. Ross is at OTAs and got a story up there at LouisianaSports.net right now on some takeaways there. He'll have some thoughts on Alvin Kamara later today as Alvin Kamara met with the media. But it's a new look for the site, and we're very, very proud of it. So appreciate it if y'all would go check that out for free, always, over at LouisianaSports.net. I want to remind you about Renaissance Homes and Pools. BuiltByRenaissance.com is the website, BuiltByRenaissance.com. Look, Joey Blanchard is awesome. He's a great dude to work with, and the beauty of working with Renaissance Homes and Pools is you work with the owner of the company start to finish. Joey's there the entire process. I'm going to give you his cell phone number here shortly. If you've always wanted a pool but didn't know where to start, Joey is where you start. You have that consultation. You sit down with him. If you know what you want, walk through that. If you have no idea, you just want a pool, he can help you with that. No matter what stage of life you're in, no matter why you're building that pool, he can help you with it. Is it 225-252-7745? He'll be there for the consultation. He'll be there for the design work. Their software is incredible. He's walked me through it step by step as to how you put a pool together. It's to scale. It's incredible. And they can also do an outdoor kitchen for you if you're looking for that as well. Look, it's not too late. The pool process does not take too long, and you can swim here until, late October? So go ahead and check them out at BuiltByRenaissance.com. Give Joey a text. Just say, hey, like to look into a pool. Heard about you on Hunt Show at 225-252-7745. Baseball transfer portal up and running. I've got a story up at LouisianaSports.net this morning about some real targets for LSU in the portal. I think that Lincoln Garcia made some sense for LSU. Did not write about him today because I didn't know if there was any interest at all on either side. Not anymore. Lincoln Garcia is going to Texas. So Lincoln Garcia, I talked about him yesterday, big 6'5" shortstop and third baseman from Texas Tech. He was a freshman this past year. Had a really good year with the bat, solid year with the glove, and he'll be headed to Austin next year to play for the Longhorns. I figured that that it was going to be a big price tag on Lincoln Garcia. If you leave Texas Tech and you've had that kind of success, there's going to be a big price tag associated, and obviously that's going to be the case. Texas is going to pay that, and as you look at it, I do kind of look at the transfer portal as baseball free agency. And you go, well, it is kind of baseball free, like Major League Baseball. Clearly, Texas A&M, Mississippi State even are going to have more money to spend. They are the Yankees, the Red Sox. I won't even throw the Dodgers out there, the Padres, the teams that spend at the top of the market. But there are other teams right there below them. You're talking about the Cubs. You're talking about the Braves. You're talking about the Phillies. And that's kind of where LSU sits in the weeds right there, right below that. And every time one of those big hitters goes to the top of the market, which I think Lincoln Garcia was probably right at the top of the market, it does cut into that salary pool a little bit. And if it's a weak portal class, that hurts. If it's a deep portal class, well, all of a sudden, you've now got more options that maybe Texas doesn't quite have the funds to go get if they spend at the top of the market. And that may be the case. And I think there are still some names out there that LSU is very clearly courting. I mentioned yesterday Brody Trosclair from Northwestern State. He visited campus yesterday. I did get confirmation from a source that outside of LSU that Trosclair had elbow surgery. And I mentioned it yesterday, and I was like, I'm not sure what it was. He had the brace surgery, and this is something I learned about this morning. There's two ways to repair a UCL. If it's torn, you got to have Tommy John. Tommy John takes a ligament from another place in your body, oftentimes the hamstring, and puts it where the UCL went and just put a new ligament in there. The brace is repairing the current UCL. It's torn, but it's just damaged. And so you go in and you repair it with that brace, and the recovery is a lot quicker. Trosclair expects to pitch next season. He had elbow surgery in April. So that tells you it's not a full Tommy John. It's an elbow procedure, but it's not full-blown Tommy John. He's going to take visits. Trosclair's going to go see some other teams in the Southeastern Conference, but LSU is throwing its hat in the ring for him. Talked about Jason Walks yesterday as well. He's from South Florida. I would expect the Tulane transfer who hit .331 over 2 seasons with Tulane, hit 11 homers, 35 doubles, played corner outfield for Tulane, was their best hitter, hit a home run at the box against LSU. He's a South Florida native. He's from Broward County down there in South Florida. I expect him to visit Miami. I expect him to visit Florida. I expect him to visit Florida State, go see the home state schools. But LSU is in the mix there as well. I mentioned Ty Konis from Maryland yesterday. That is an all-Big Ten freshman team player who I think LSU is in play for as well. He makes a lot of sense because he's a young player as a freshman. He got on base a ton. He walked 46 times this past year, and he played good defense. And I liked the fact that against UCLA, Konis was 4 for 10. Against USC, he had 3 more hits. He's not a star, but I don't think LSU's looking for all stars in the portal. They're looking for some role players to hope that Aaron Beatty and Cerna and Braun and some of those guys are stars. I expect him to add a frontline bat. Konis would not be that, but I think he makes some sense at that spot. But LSU is very much in play right now hosting visitors. We have reached that point of the week. When you have those conversations on Monday morning when the portal opens, hey, want to get you to visit, let's book you a flight, I'll let your mom and dad get things in order, come on Wednesday, come on Thursday, come on Friday, we're there. Trosclair got to Baton Rouge quickly, he could drive. Now you're talking about national players, whether it's Mikey Bell from Gonzaga, who's got to come across the country, Konis from Maryland across the country, pitchers that they are very likely to be on, like Gonzaga's ace. These are guys that can now get on a plane and visit Baton Rouge. I would expect you see that very soon. I would expect you see some social media stuff start to leak out. Commitments are tough to come by early in the process unless you really blow somebody away. And obviously, Lincoln Garcia got blown away by Texas and was like, this is where I want to be. This is a spot. But a lot of folks are going to take multiple visits. You drive that bidding war up, you take multiple visits. How do you drive that price up? You go visit State, too. You go visit Georgia, too. You go visit Vanderbilt. You drive that price up. And so one visit commitment is not always going to happen. Sometimes maybe it does for the local guys, but not always going to happen. Certainly didn't yesterday as LSU got that visit from Trosclair. So Jay Johnson's hard at work. Nate Yeski's hard at work. Mark Wanaka, Jamie Tutko, Josh Jordan, they're all very hard at work. And they will get this right, but it's taking a little bit of time. And I can tell you now, they're full speed ahead hosting visitors daily. And I would expect this weekend, I sit here on Wednesday afternoon, I think this weekend you'll have a commitment or two. I think so. I think LSU will get that done. They've got some money to spend. They've got playing time available. They've got amazing pedigree. They've got an incredible staff. I think LSU is going to be just fine, but I would expect that it will take a couple of days to get that commitment across the finish line because guys just want to look. They want to see what's out there. And you have a hard time blaming them for that. But hopefully some guys see the light and want to be here in Baton Rouge. Let's take a time out, come back and close it out. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com. HighlandIG.com is that website. Look, hurricane season's here. We're now in it. June 1st starts it. So till the fall, we're in storm season. Make sure your insurance program is ready to respond to that. If you're a business owner and you don't know what your property policy says, it's time for a second set of eyeballs. Jonathan Carbo and his team are experts. They will look at your building valuation. They will look at your deductible. Does it match your risk appetite? What's your business interruption limit? Do you know what that covers? What triggers it? And how'd you come to that limit? I've seen that save businesses, small businesses, but save them because you're out of work because there's a hurricane that blows through, but you're able to get your lost revenues. You're able to pay your expenses because that insurance kicks in. It's not a fun thing to talk about, but it's certainly a lot less fun if you got the wrong thing and a storm blows through and you can't work. So let the Highland Insurance Group make sure your property policy is in order. They're online at HighlandIG.com. They're based here in Baton Rouge. Jonathan Carbo and his team are awesome. Check them out at the Highland Insurance Group. They're online at HighlandIG.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Officially working towards the weekend. Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Just got a couple minutes left here to play a little bit of Take It or Leave It, and that's really all we've got left to do, so let's do it.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, so after the New England Patriots acquired star receiver A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles, it sounds like another wide receiver is hoping for a new home. So according to Adam Schefter, he reported that the Patriots wide receiver Kayshon Boutte is interested in becoming, well, I say interested. He's interested in being traded this offseason. Boutte is entering his final year of his rookie contract and is likely hoping for a new home for himself as he's an unrestricted free agent in 2027. So will Kayshon be on a new team by week 1? Take it or leave it.
I'll leave that.
Leave it alone.
I wouldn't rule it out, but like, why wouldn't they want? I mean, he had a good year last year. They bring in another option for Drake May. Like he didn't have the best receiving options at the end of the year last year. They got crushed in the Super Bowl. So like, I would suggest that they should keep him, and then you're gonna lose him to free agency, but you would figure that you're making a deal for A.J. Brown to be really good this year. Why would you subtract from your receiving core that you just added to? I wouldn't think that would be a good idea.
I know, it'd be crazy to see because you thought he was coming along at the very end of the season, well, the whole year pretty much. And then they get A.J. Brown, so it's like kind of gets pushed to the side a little bit. Like, all right, well.
Kayshon had such a weird career at LSU. Just real weird.
Real good, and changed to number 7 and was real bad.
Not great. And then he showed up against Georgia in the SEC championship game, made that sick play. Like, whatever. I don't know.
All right, so the NYPD announced today that they have lifted the ban on watch parties outside of the Madison Square Garden. As the start of the NBA Finals is tonight. So is New York ready to burn to the ground? Take it or leave it?
I'll take it. I'm in for this. I like Goliaths in sports to an extent, especially when Goliath hadn't showed up in a while. And like the Knicks I mean, the Lakers and Celtics have a more decorated history by a billion miles, but like the Knicks are right there in that discussion. If you just want to look at like brands
History,
and arena and just history and just like legacy and fan base and passion, like the Knicks fans, I don't know, they ever like completely lost their passion. They just had a crappy basketball team for 25 years. Now they're back. They're into it. I got one Knicks fan acquaintance who grew up there and lives there now, and he sent the kids to school in Knicks gear today. I got that. I saw that on the old Instagram today. So they're fired up in Manhattan.
I'm fired up for them because seeing the Knicks, even though I can't put the Pelicans and the Knicks in the same conversation, but just seeing that a fan base being at the bottom and finally getting there, maybe potentially, it doesn't rule it out for me. Like, you know what? Not today, Jordan. Just keep living. You might see it one day. You might see it one
Madison
day.
Square Garden, the Smoothie King Center.
Not even, I mean, come on, man. Who are celebrities? The Suicide Boys? We don't even. we ain't Ben Stiller and all that.
You got Morris Bart.
Yeah, Morris Bart. Shout out Morris Bart. You want insurance? Morris Bart, the guy. Morris Bart. All right, so Micah Parsons revealed today that the Green Bay Packers have a no football rule for 9 months after after having an injury worse than an ACL tear. So he's going to begin the season on the PUP list. So should more teams implement a no football rule for ACL tears and whatnot? Take it or leave it.
I mean, I'm torn. That's a bad pun there.
It's a good pun.
An accidental. On that, like, I'll leave it. Like,
leave it alone.
I get it. You got a lot of money in these guys. You can't have them getting hurt. I understand. But got to live our lives out there, right? I mean, I got Cubs pitchers getting hurt picking up their kids.
I still can't believe that. Hey, speaking of the Cubs, I know they lost yesterday. No, I know they lost.
Don't talk about the Cubs.
But Gage jumped, your guy.
I don't care. He doesn't play for me anymore. He just shoved 7 innings of 1-run balls. Second start ever. Cubs can't get a freaking hit. Then would jump out of the game, which, I mean, theoretically, like, okay, best case scenario, jump pitch is great and the Cubs still win. Well, jump goes out. The Cubs in the 9th inning, they're down 1. They get first and second, nobody out. Well, it's not just first and second. It's Nico Horner, who can fly at second. Pete Crow Armstrong, one of the fastest guys in the league at first. We got Bregman and Happ and Suzuki coming up.
Ooh.
Nothing. Strikeout, pop out, ball.
Oh, my.
Nothing. Cubs are in big trouble.
Big trouble? Well, injuries, you know.
Get
well, healthy.
They're not getting healthy, and one of them's out for the year, and the other one might be out for the year. So it's not good.
Oh, it's not good. Well, I hate to say it, but that's it for take it or leave it. You know, I know we didn't want to talk about the Cubs.
Didn't I say that there's no chance the Brewers can beat us? I said that on this show.
Oh, you did, Hunt, matter of fact. Okay. Yeah, you did. Trust me.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Give me a second, everybody. We got to pull this up because I made sure to keep receipts about this. Had to keep receipts about
I'm excited about this.
Here we go. What's this? Hunt saying the Cubs will win. Here we go. Let's hear this one. Got 2 of them, Hunt.
Oh, God.
Let's see what this one is. Turn this up.
And the Brewers have a way of making me look like a fool because they never have anybody good. They win the division every year. It's not going to happen this year. We're better. We're just significantly better. We're going to beat the Brewers.
Okay. All right. Hey, somebody clip that right now. Hunt saying it on January 13th.
By the way, you're the producer. You can clip it. That's called assigning yourself work. January 13th, huh?
That's nasty, Hunt.
That's 5 months ago.
5 months.
Cubs are 1,000 games behind. The Brewers have Mizorowski, who nobody can hit. Kyle Harrison, who nobody can hit. Bryce Terang's clubbing everything everywhere.
Brutal.
We're probably in last. Last time I checked, we're in 4th. It's a disaster. Everyone got hurt at one time in the first 4 months. And LSU baseball destroyed me, destroyed June, and the Cubs can't even get to June.
Yeah, no, it is bad.
I'm down bad baseball-wise. I need the portal. Jay, get in the portal, get some dudes. Lift my spirits. The Cubs aren't doing squat. If you missed any of the show today, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Just search Hunt Palmer Show. You can like, subscribe, rate, review. We always certainly appreciate that. Hunt on LSU is where you can find our LSU content. Hunt on Saints, where you can find our Saints. Talked about Kamara, Saints OTAs today also. Talked a little about Clemson from an LSU perspective. They don't think they're going to be very good over at ESPN.com. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further Review. We're back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Getting out of here, let me tell you about Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're, of course, online at FabryChevrolet.com. We live in a clicks world. Everybody starts their shopping online these days. You can do that with cars, too. You can do it at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. The entire inventory is online there at FabryChevrolet.com. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle, pre-owned vehicle, it's all there. You can sort by price. You can sort by make and model. You can sort by mileage. All that is right there at your fingertips, and you can see if they've got what you're looking for. Got a hunch? They probably do. And at that point, you can head on up to St. Francisville on Highway 61 and see them. The Fabry family has been in business 35 years here in Baton Rouge. They've got 3 locations, 5 brands, and they've built that brand based on wonderful customer service. You're going to get that at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Everybody's had a bad experience at a car dealership. That's not going to happen at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Check them out online, FabryChevrolet.com. Go see them, Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Looking for a new ride? I can't recommend them enough. It's Fabry Chevrolet GMC.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions.